I'm Shachi Maheshwari and I'm a corporate performance coach. I've been a chartered accountant for last 30 years, worked in the corporate world for last 26 years. I've been working as a coach,
Okay,
mentor, and curating customized programs for the corporates on different corporate problems.
fantastic. A little bit about myself, roughly very similar. Um, but I'm in the world of investment management, and uh, my entire career has been in investment and capital markets. Last year, I chose to set up my own firm. I got my license in November, and that's when the journey started. And it's been a year now. We are at about 60 accounts and 150 crores of assets under our advice. A small start, but the first step on a long journey.
Wonderful, wonderful. Um, so it's very great to know that you have been working in this industry for how long?
Since 2001, so 22 years. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So you worked with in past in some of the companies, and now you have thought that you will start on your own, or this entrepreneurial journey started when?
Well, I had a sort of fantastic image in my mind when I was a very young boy. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never wanted to be an employee. But as you start your career, the reality kicks in. But I had a broad vision that if I have about 42, 43 years of working career, approximately half will be as an employee and half will be on my own. Uh, and that half was exactly 21 years, right? And so between 2001 and 2022, yeah, that would be 21 years. I almost unceremoniously put in my paper. I really wasn't liking what was being done, how it was being done, and you can say epiphany. Sometimes you just know this is not for you, and the courage to do something on my own was I don't know where it came from. It just came, and we started. And uh, it's taught me more in the last 1 year than what I learned in the preceding 5 years. So it's been interesting.
So if I may ask you, what are the top three learnings that you had of the last year that you have turned to an entrepreneur? What were those?
The first thing is courage is the biggest virtue of all the wisdoms, wisdom, temperance, and whatnot. Everything else can be faked. Courage cannot be faked because courage is an actual performance, an actual decision, an actual path you've chosen. And it is possible that sometimes you're forced into it or nudged into it, but that doesn't take away from the virtue of courage. So I think that is far bigger virtue in my view than intelligence, than smartness, than being articulate, than being good with people. All these virtues have their own merits. I'm not denying them, but there's
Absolutely,
nothing
absolutely.
bigger than fortitude. The second important learning is to essentially focus on your first step. When you are in that corporate sort of planning sort of a mode, you're planning for 5 years and planning for 10 years, fully aware that all this is nothing more than a pipe dream, nor at best a rough image of how you would like to see the future rather than how future will turn out. Um, but uh, once I got into my own, it was very important for me to take the first step. My wife, my mentors, my friends, they always told me that you may have something in your mind that you want to be after 2 years, but it should not bother it should not interfere with your next step. Next step is very important. So so that would be my second important learning, because this focus on next step has a power to clear your mind of all the cobwebs that future and past bring along. Okay. The third and the most important thing, sorry, you wanted to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I said very true. I think decluttering is one of the most important things for anything if you want to take the next step. Absolutely. I agree with you.
And the third thing that I would like to put, and this is, you cannot say in any certain order, but these are all important things, that help comes. It's just that you're not aware from where it will come. From the places you expect it the most, it may or may not come. It generally will not come. But it will come from the places you least expect it. But it will, so far as you're ready for it. So I think these are three important experiences, if not learnings, in the last 11 months.
Wonderful. The last one as well, I agree, because if the intention is right, the universe makes it possible for us through different ways, which we may not know, how. So they say that the detailing is not important. The intention is important. The details happen as per the universe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Very true. Very nice. So
tell me something about yourself, Shachi. I would also like to learn a bit from you now that I have an opportunity of interaction. You are also in a sister field, if I may call it that way, chartered accountancy, finance, numbers. And you chose a very creative pursuit. I think that the pursuit that you have chosen is very different from the technical field that you were born into, let me put it that way. How did that happen?
Right. So I think from the very beginning, I am a very creative person. And while I took a line which was quite raw, chartered accountancy is all about debit, credit, numbers. But over a period of time, when we graduate to different levels, when we reach to the C levels, so I worked as a CFO for a multimedia group. I worked for, a multinational as well, handling their business operations for 2 countries. So I realized at the end of the day, you are only, being a good people's manager. So while you elevate, it is more on, people than on the subject, because subject now you have got very thorough in. Now, wherever you put that finger and wherever your mind is put, you would know that there's something to work on and this needs to be done right. Mm-hmm. But how to get it done is something which, over a period of time in last 26 years, I gained a lot of insight. And I think 16 years back, when I started realizing that I was enjoying troubleshooting and handling people issues more than, my own subject. So while people in different departments used to come to me that ma'am has solutions, let's go to ma'am and let's find out. Okay. And I started reading on coaching, mentoring, and I started educating myself. And I realized that all these principles, I've been using it. The only thing was they are all professionally put into one place, and I did not know the names which are, there in those subjects. So while I realized I used nearly everything through my college days, where I used to troubleshoot for my friends, arranging their thoughts, helping. But now the expectation is different. When you are a chartered accountant, entrepreneurs started coming to me that now you know the numbers. So why don't you tell us how to deal with the team about it, how to, solve these corporate problems. And that is what made me really very curious as to which are the different areas we can run programs on. So we did design thinking, we did critical thinking, we did creative thinking, we did corporate governance with directors, we did leadership team programs with active listening, because a lot of leaders don't listen to others, and that's the reason they fail sometimes. So it was a wonderful journey, and I thought that last 26 years I've been using this, so it's not something which is new for me. But there's an overlap because I used the same principles, and now it was 100% shift, because I thought, why that transformation journey is only meant for one organization? Why not I put that hat and make it big? So remove that hat, put it down, use my skills and help more number of, corporates, how they are dealing with, learn to know as to how people are dealing with different problems, what is making them to deal, and fight it out in every org. So I truly enjoy speaking to people where they have, thought that they will do different and they have come out. So the one challenge which I think was major was key authority, and that is one thing we cannot leave after gaining that over a period of time. So after 26 years of my career, where I was at the top level, anybody could have aspired to be there, and from there you decide, okay, you are okay to do again that from a scratch, and that's a big courage again. So I agree on courage part of yours, that yes, it needs courage to really think that people may not be calling you madam, but people will realize that um, there is intelligence, there is some effort which is required in molding the way you look at people.
That's absolutely true. Bringing any sort of discomfort, especially if it is mental or psychological, mm,
So you have a team
embracing
of yours
discomfort.
as well?
Yes, I have a very closely knit team of mine. We are six of us total, and each one of us know each other for at least a decade, if not more.
Wonderful.
Uh, and the way we have constructed our working style is we've tried to uh, compartmentalize and as well as be interdependent. So we meet only twice, which is Tuesday and Thursday between 4 and 8. And this is the time unanimously, sort of agreed. We meet at WeWork at here near in Goregaon. And that's the time when all the six of us are together for those 4 hours. Okay. The idea essentially is not just to give a sense of a team, but also to make sure that uh, I update them about how we are progressing or not progressing. And we see what is the impact of that on their workflows, the processes that we follow. But once we are away after Tuesday to Thursday, we speak only on need basis, if required to speak, sort of a thing. And that's because every function is quite unique in itself. So finance and compliance is taken care by my colleague, and she's been in the business for around 25 years. Um, Interestingly, except one, all are females. So we are a female-dominated team, at least quantitatively. And so the other colleague of mine completely takes care of client communication. She has access to my email ID, the work email ID, and she makes sure that the entire flow is 100% compliant and every client is sort of aware of what's happening to the portfolios. Similarly, there is so basically each work is unique in its sense and can stand on its own feet. But on Tuesday and Thursday, these compartments talk to each other in a casual and deep way.
So
And
as
many of them
such,
are, homemakers, and there is a clear preference that I've seen that they would like to be left alone when it comes to what time they want to work and where they want to work. And that works for me as well.
right. So right now the team is on the flexi hours kind of thing where, they know their job role, they know their work, and then they handle it at their own convenience.
Sort of. I would not call it flexi hours because flexi hours also has an assumption that I need you somewhere for a certain number of hours. The way I think about it is that this is your role and this is my role, and if we need help, we will talk to each other. That's pretty much how it goes. If somebody can do it in 2 minutes, so be it.
Okay. So how do you measure success in terms of a small team? Like, how do you really think that, everybody is progressing in their role and they're giving their best? As to how, is there anything that is there in your mind while you meet, and uh, that, okay, we are going at the right path, we're progressing, and this is what is, our goal? Is there something like that which measures, or?
Well, there are some quantitative measures that we all watch, and there are some important rules that we have uh, created as a team. I would say they are more articulated by me and sort of agreed by the team. without any discomfort. Because the role of laying that framework is mine. If you're somebody who, so what are the things that you observe? The first observation is the business related observation, which is how many accounts have you reached, how much billing and invoicing have you reached, what is the percentage collection. This we watch like Hawkeyes. Okay. But unlike the external world, we do not keep targets. We do not have a target that I want to reach so much by so much or so much, right? That is not how we work. We work on organic growth as it comes, because our business is a business of referencing and client servicing. So client servicing is what is our monitored thing. So the first rule of how we work is NPB, nothing pending basis. At any point in time in this system, nothing should be pending. And if you're looking at finance and compliance, it is your duty to ensure that nothing is pending at any given moment, which means if something comes on your desk, either it has a slotted time or it is done immediately. Now, whether you do it in Hyderabad airport, whether you do it in New York, Goa, on a beach, I really don't have any issues with that. So Tuesday and Thursday when you meet, actually there should be nothing. You are meeting just to chat, talk, make fun of each other. That's a better role, a better objective than, saying, oh, we have this, writing and this goal sheet and all that. हमारे केस में धंधा हमारे हिसाब से चलता है, हम धंधे के हिसाब से नहीं चलते, which means that if the number of clients inflow is higher than a particular rate, well, we would like to slow it down, because first it is important to make sure that every client is appropriately assimilated in the system without a load on the system. ऐसा कोई revenue target नहीं है that we have to clock this much.
But does that mean that you will never want to increase a team?
Well, I would like to have a WhatsApp model, which is basically just 10 people creating a valuation of $16 billion. Throwing more bodies is not a solution to our work. You don't get sharper insights, better constructions of portfolio, better performance by adding people to the team, right? This is the biggest misconception in our business, or any business in my view. See, a manufacturing business, I understand that it could be more labor intensive. Anything that has got to do with intellectual intensity is not more labor intensive, it is more idea intensive. So I do not envisage a team more than 10, even when I'm managing 2,000 crores, right? God willing, if we reach that stage.
Wonderful.
But not more than, but these people are not my subordinates. I am not your subordinate. I am not their subordinate. We are equals, each having clearly articulated compartment, and we speak on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening. Right? So it's pretty much like your own work, how you do. That's what I would like to be. I know there could be challenges as we grow. I mean, I'm not blind to them. But you asked, what would you like to, do you envisage? That's why I said that.
Yeah. And one more thing is that as of now, I mean, you are at a space where, all of them are given duties which they can handle and they can actually reach. You have not reached a point where, the work is getting beyond one person's role. So if that is so, then you might have to think of increasing the team is what you are saying. As of now, you don't see that happening till some time.
And then also the way I think it should evolve is, let's say my colleague Kinjal, if she feels that this work is now a burden or a sort of lot of work, it is up to her to figure what to do for that. If she feels that she needs one more person, I mean, I don't intend to interfere with that. I would like to listen to her and provide my ideas and thoughts, but I don't see any reason why there should be a doubt about it. But this is my, if you ask me, where would I invest? I would rather invest on technology than people. People can be deceptive. People can be difficult to manage. People have emotions.
And people can be dependent.
People can be dependent, yes, absolutely. And so you have to be very, very sure about a person. And it takes a decade to know a person, in my view. That, ये व्यक्ति इस कार्यशैली के लिए उचित है. It's you cannot do it in one interview or two interviews or three performances. I have seen it all in the last 25 years, how people dodge the system, how good people get sidelined simply because they are not able to articulate themselves or whatever the reason. So there are loopholes.
So let's say if there is a situation where you see one of your team members is not up to the mark. How would you approach it? How would you really deal with it?
The first and the foremost is that our relationship is such, or should be such, if it is not yet, so as to tell very honestly. And so like if I tell, let's say if your colleague, and if I tell you that, look, Shachi, this is not appropriate, I don't think this has come out well, of course, with due respect to your seniority, your work ethic, etc. I don't think anybody minds it in our team. They tell me on my face when I was paying less attention to some aspect of my work. It's been pretty clear. We don't wait for some time or some Tuesday or Thursday. Tuesday and Thursday is simply to meet and have a hassle-free chat. Right? There's no other purpose. The idea is not that I will make a list of issues that you have and then tell you on that day. If I have an issue with you, I'll be very honest and tell you immediately. And then together, if you need my help and interaction to figure out how to solve that, that's a separate matter.
Wonderful.
Generally,
that is
each one
that
of
is
them
like
are
being a team member along with being a team leader. So you're playing a dual role, and it's very, very good to know that entrepreneurs today have really evolved to a journey where they don't think that they are leading it, and they know that it's all about a team, and that is very good to know. Having a small team, and you want to stick to the small team, and reach to new heights. Wonderful to know. One more thing which I had in my mind is the different types of financial planning that you do. Is it more on individuals, or it's more on the corporates that you deal with?
So, see, it's like this, first of all, it may sound very strange, but we do not solicit business. Okay, we go. So when I started, how did I start? Right? I started with a support of about 22 families, whom I had been informally serving, or they're like people, very close friends, and something like that. We are families who would have an average portfolio size of, say, 2 to 10 crores or sometimes more, something like that. And they were taking more and more time. And I would say, because I was working at that time, told him, boss, I cannot spend so much time on the portfolio, right? So he said that, why don't you start on your own, So that's how the whole story started. So these 22 people had promised to me that they will sign up the agreement if I start on my own, right? It will have my own license. And that is how I got 22 on day one. I never thought that it will expand beyond that dramatically. At least I didn't have any plan of that. But this grows on its own. You don't have to do much. You just have to do right with your existing clients, and business flows. About 10 of them are corporates or trusts or charities or whatever you call it. About 50 are families, proper families, of different religions and locations.
Oh, wonderful. So it's something which is very, very interesting, that on day one you have some people who have trusted you, and you didn't have to build up the trust again in terms of the work, and you're continuing with the same subject that you were dealing with, and in a different role now. So that is something which is very nice. I mean, I really appreciate the way the functioning smoothly transitioned from one kind of positioning to another kind of positioning, and it's good to know that you have carried the mindset of being progressive, and not just changing your mind to creating targets for your own team and working towards them, and creating an atmosphere of pressure to do more and more. But are you happy with how you are going, and is it comparable with your journey of how do you think you have got an edge over the journey which you had before? What is it which is different and which is positive?
Thank you for asking that question. It sounded so rosy that for a moment, I thought that, oh, it's such a great thing to be into. Trust me, it's never unblemished. It's always a combination of goods and bads. Uh, there are moments when you feel you are too slow or underutilized or unexplored relatively. There are moments when you kick yourself for being not aggressive enough or disciplined enough or stuff like that. And if you live in a world where you have friends and people you talk to who are in jobs where they are supposed to be aggressive and team leadership and this and aggressive role goal setting and all that, there are moments when you feel that, boss, क्या तुम में ही कोई कमी है क्या? But I have a very solid support system of people who know me for long, and they are not necessarily my family members. Well, of course, my spouse for sure, but other people who are interested in me and not my money or my success so much, and they very casually and very closely give very decisive views on what could be the case. So if you compare yourself, let's say if my cost to company, a simple basic metric, was so much in 2021, you would have a tendency to compare it with, what is the revenue rate, quarterly revenue rate that you are having right now in the practice. And one of my friends told me that it's so unfair. You took 21 years to reach there, but you are kicking yourself that you want this within 3 quarters from your business. How stupid is that? And then you realize the import of what you're thinking. The lure of having more clients, more money, is also something which takes over you on occasions. Growth is not what conventionally is thought of as growth. Growth is a situation where you do the same thing with far more efficiency, rigor, and quality, in
Wonderful.
my view at least. So you have to be your own sense of what is success, what is goal, and I think it emerges as you walk.
So what is that one? What is that one motivation which drives you every day, which you decide, okay, every day at least this is what I do every day for that?
So one thing that I want is to die in my office, working, and not like working mindlessly or working hard in a conventional 9 to 10 manner, but doing something that you really love. I have always believed that there will be a time when we will have closely knit 200 families who are serviced by me and my team. And these are the people who have crossed that level of being a client alone, and it's a far deeper relationship which is mutually beneficial. So my goal is essentially to create a solid family private office or family wealth office, as they call it in professional terms, for my own self and for my own team. That is what is the goal that drives me. Now, whether it will have 200 families, 2,000 families, 20,000 families, I do not know.
Wonderful. So you are building a team not within office, you are building a team in the vicinity where you exist, with even your clients. And that's a good idea. It's a good proposition in terms of feeding your mind with a positive thought that you are within the like-minded people who always wish that their wealth is stored well by you, and you wish that you are in the right vicinity where people respect you in terms of what you're offering to them. So that's a
So,
good.
Shaz, one of the things that, is often misconception, almost, not misconception, but it's almost granted as universal truth is that it is the business that seeks the customer all the time. Well,
True.
that may be true in terms of attracting the right sort of people because ultimately you have to showcase what your service is. But client selection is a very important aspect of our business. You get in with the wrong client, it creates a lot of negative energy, it creates a lot of wastage of time, and you neither make him happy nor he makes you happy. So it's very important to have these aspects. So हम जो दुनिया जिस तरह सोचते हैं उस तरह सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं, and it happens automatically. It takes effort to move out
Yeah.
of that thinking. So
See,
that's
it
very
is
good.
good for people who have that choice initially in the first year
Yeah.
itself, and you were fortunate enough that you had a choice to, go with people
Yeah.
who choose you. And so there are not so many people who still have choices in the nascent stage of when they get into an entrepreneurship that they choose because that point in time they are into the mode of proving, that they can sustain entrepreneurship. And I think that is one of the things which drives a lot of startups, and they fail because they are only seeking clients and they are not choosing clients. I think this is one of the inputs which could lead to great insights in this journey of entrepreneurship. And I think if we are good at our work and if we are giving more quality than what we ask as the money, and if people have already trust and place the trust, then it's both ways journey. It's a win-win situation for people who deal with us. And
Absolutely.
we should be grateful, that you are one of those where you could get that journey into that positioning in the first year.
Yeah,
And
I really feel what you're saying is absolutely right. It's very rare. You'll be surprised to know. I even know who are going to be my business partners 3 years down the line today. I knew who were the clients who are going to be my clients a year back or 2 years back. So, it's like, you don't really see one of the biggest challenges of entrepreneurship is how to avoid external locus of control because it puts so much pressure on you, which is unrequired, right? You are an entrepreneur. You day one start watching videos of Elon Musk and Ashneer Grover and all those, thinking that you miss the point that there is a strong survival bias. One out of thousands you are seeing and modeling around that. People around you want you to grow fast. I don't know it's a useless social pressure. Right? So far as you do what you like to do and you think you are creating consumer surplus and you are giving something to someone in net, I think a person like you can help somebody remove that off his shoulder, right, and live a better life, and therefore be more innovative, entrepreneurial, as you call it. That's a big challenge, I think. And as you said, blessed I am not to be into that. But वो कभी कभी होता है, ऐसा नहीं है.
hey,
There are
that
moments
is
of
definitely there because we are, after all, human beings. So
yeah,
sometimes there are times of gratefulness, sometimes there are times of
yeah,
anger. There are some times where you think, okay, yes, this is all right, and but is this really so right that I am not getting any wrongs? And should I increase my speed? Should I think it differently? Should I grow my team? So all these things would come at some point in time, of course, in every person's mind. And I think to choose out of that what works for you and to be in the positive journey where you are spreading more great teams, more great relationships than just about sustaining an entrepreneurial journey is what is very important in life. And which I see that as an entrepreneur, if that is the outlook that you have, the first sentence that you choose your clients because somewhere you reflect and you don't just want business, you want to deal with people you are in respect with, or you can help them with, or you love them, or you want to be with them. That itself is a great filtration of how you choose to work with people you really want to grow with.
Yeah, I mean, and it comes. You don't start with these things. You learn about it.
Yes.
You have the vibe immediately. If I meet somebody and it's like 30 minutes conversation and you get a sense कि boss इनका game अलग है. I'm not judging whether
Correct.
it's right or wrong.
Oh, yes.
इनका गेम अलग है. हम वो गेम नहीं खेलते हैं.
Absolutely. And I fully resonate with this because, I'm the kind of
Yes,
person
yes.
that I put in one of my best efforts for transformations, executive coaching. So while I see in the third session that the person is not putting in his best, I am the one who gives away and says that, you know what, this is not going to work because I can take you to water, but I cannot make you drink water.
Absolutely.
So this is
Absolutely.
something which you will have to do. And, there are only two people who can carry that journey. One is you yourself, and second is your coach. I can push you and take you there. But if you are not inclined to make that journey transformation come true, then something cannot work with like this because I value my time. And if I am doing that bit, I want a high out of it. I want to see the results. If that's not coming out, then, I'm actually, if that was the case, I was better in a job where,
That's very
whether,
well said.
yeah,
Yeah, that's very well
because
said,
you
Shachi.
are paid for 8 hours, whether you work for 2 hours or you work for three
Yeah.
hours. I am not looking for that kind of journey, is what I make it clear, while I meet my clients. And I say that, if you are determined to achieve it, I'm there with you.
And your profession is also, your expertise is also such an expertise where it's difficult to enumerate, quantify, and say that this is what we did. That's now how it might always work. Anything where there is a qualitative engagement, okay. इंडिया में एक तरह से लोग ये मानते हैं कि जो पैसे देने वाला होता है उसका हाथ हमेशा ऊपर होता है. We believe, at least in Gujarati, there is this saying, "Apnar no haath upar hoy." I think this is not true. I don't think that is always true. Anything which is not able to generate surplus for both cannot be lasting. You can do it for your friend for a while, once, twice, 3 months, 6 months. It cannot be a long-term relationship, and therefore, if you and as you rightly pointed out, within second or third session you get a vibe, right? कि boss ये बंदा time pass कर रहा है.
Time pass के अलावा, see, if you are not serious about your dreams, I can't do anything. There's no magic wand that you will achieve it.
Yeah.
So it is your dream. So even see, one thing which is very strong is that whether it is your spouse or your parents, your dreams are always yours. If you are not driving them, nobody else is interested. They have their own problems. They have their own journey.
Yes.
So unless I define my journey and unless I am on for it, give my 100% potential, I give my best, it's not going to be working out for me. And if I don't see that in my clients, I would say, boss, if you really want to achieve, this is what we need to do. And if you're ready for this, take me in. I mean, I'll be the first person to be there.
Very true.
So very good talking to you, Himanshu ji. And I think the one vibe which matches is that I've been born and brought up in Gujarat. And when you said that,
Is it?
Yes, so I have a very strong connection, and that is the reason why we meet today also. Because I strongly feel that, some of the traits I've picked up from Gujarat, maybe the journey of language at least was there. Because
so you're based out of Gujarat or Mumbai or some other place?
No, I'm based out of Gujarat, but now I've settled down in Hyderabad.
Oh, fantastic. Hyderabad happens to be my sasural.
Oh, wonderful. So next time when you come, you must surely, we should meet.
Yes.
And next time when I come to Bombay, I'll try and
Definitely. Let's catch up. I'm sure we'll have things to talk about.
Absolutely. Wonderful talking to you, Himanshu. So may all your dreams come true, and may all your wishes as an entrepreneur also flourish your dreams the way and evolve them more and more so that your teams also grow the same way.
Thank you so much, Shachi, and same to you and much more.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.